Part 1. The Child of Prophecy. Chapter 1. A Sky Written in Fire. The night sky above Samarkand burned with unfamiliar stars. Old men whispered that the heavens were restless. Scholars watched the constellations with furrowed brows. In the narrow streets, mothers clutched their children closer, while soldiers tightened their grips on rusted spears. Something had shifted in the world, though no one could yet name it. Inside the citadel, Ayla Khatun screamed. The midwife's hands trembled as she lifted the newborn boy into the lamplight. He did not cry immediately. His eyes opened, dark, focused, unnervingly aware. A son, the midwife whispered, and a storm with him. Outside, thunder cracked without rain. The child was named Iskandar ibn Rahman, born to a disgraced military commander and a woman whose lineage traced back to forgotten scholars of the Abbasid court. On the night of his birth, a comet carved the sky in two. Many would later swear they had seen it bend toward the west. Chapter 2. The Fallen Father. Rahman ibn Said had once stood among generals. Now he stood among shadows. Accused of treason after a failed border campaign, Rahman had lost everything: rank, honor, and the Sultan's trust. Only exile spared his life. Samarkand became both his prison and his refuge. When he held his son for the first time, Rahman felt something unfamiliar tighten in his chest. "This world devours the weak," he murmured. "If you live, you must become iron." From that day, Iskandar's childhood was not one of play, but of preparation. Chapter 3. Ink and Steel. By 7, Iskandar could read Arabic, Persian, and Turkic. By 10, he could ride without reins and strike a target at full gallop. Rahman trained him in the courtyard at dawn, while Ayla taught him poetry by night. Between sword and scripture, Iskandar learned that knowledge and power were twin blades, useless alone, unstoppable together. Yet the boy asked questions no child should.
Why do rulers fear scholars?
Why do empires rot from within? Why does Allah raise some men only to break them? Rahman had no answers, only warnings. Chapter 4. The Whispering Scholar. When Iskandar was 12, Sheikh Umar al-Balkhi arrived in Samarkand. Blind in one eye and sharp in the other, Umar was rumored to advise kings and bury tyrants. He asked for Rahman's son specifically. "The stars do not lie," Umar said, touching Iskandar's forehead. "This one walks toward blood and banners." Umar taught Iskandar history, not as dates, but as mistakes. "Empires fall," he said, "not when enemies attack, but when truth becomes dangerous." Those lessons would one day cost lives. Chapter 5. The First Betrayal. At 15, Iskandar witnessed betrayal for the first time. Rahman was summoned by the city governor under promise of pardon. It was a lie. Soldiers arrived at dawn. Ayla's scream echoed as Rahman was dragged away in chains. Iskandar tried to fight. He was struck down, tasting blood and dust. That night, Rahman ibn Said was executed quietly. No trial, no witnesses. Something in Iskandar died with him. Something else was born. Chapter 6. Exile of the Sun. Samarkand became unbearable. With Sheikh Umar's guidance, Iskandar fled west, disguised as a caravan guard. Behind him lay his mother's grave. Ayla had not survived her husband's death. Ahead lay Anatolia, fractured by rival Beyliks, watched by a crumbling empire whose crown still glittered in Constantinople. Umar's last words followed him like a curse. "You will serve no throne until a throne kneels to you." Chapter 7. The Road of Wolves. The road west was soaked in danger. Bandits, mercenaries, war refugees. Iskandar learned that courage alone was useless without cruelty, and cruelty meaningless without control. He led men older than himself and took them. Each death hardened the crescent banners of Anatolia fluttered in the distance. At 17, he killed a man in fair combat, and Iskandar felt destiny tighten its grip. Chapter 8. A City That Watches the World. He first saw Constantinople from a hill at sunset. The walls rose like a challenge carved in stone. Domes caught the dying light. Bells rang where once only silence lived. "Every empire believes itself eternal," Sheikh Umar had said. Iskandar smiled grimly. Then let them believe, he whispered. Until I arrive.